So, are we ready? Everyone should pay attention now.
Good evening, everyone. Firstly, I would like to say thank you for giving this opportunity to the opening speaker of this discussion.
To be the opening speaker.
To be the opening speaker of this discussion. So today's topic is euthanasia. So what is the meaning of euthanasia? Euthanasia composed of two words, eu plus nasia. So euthanasia meaning good death. If somebody wants to intentionally die, who is suffering from chronic disease or incurable disease, so he want to be like death. So euthanasia, there are many types of euthanasia. First one is voluntary euthanasia, involuntary euthanasia, active euthanasia, and passive euthanasia. So active euthanasia means someone dies in the presence of a doctor or die by lethal injection.
By giving.
By given lethal injection. And passive euthanasia meaning someone dies to remove their ventilators or
I want to add some more points. Euthanasia is a peaceful and painful death, and it saves the health cost. And if someone wants to that, so they will get that.
If someone wants to die.
Someone wants to die.
So, do you really think that euthanasia should be allowed in India?
yes.
Okay, we'll come back to that point later on. So, I want to know your opinion first. Anybody else who wants to say some more?
So, as my friends have told earlier that euthanasia is a good death. So, I believe that there is no kind of good or bad death. Death is death. If somebody is dying, so he is dying and he or she is leaving the earth, or you can say the world. And I believe that euthanasia should not be legalized in anywhere. There are many examples where euthanasia has been legalized, but I believe that in India there are many religions who consider life as sacred.
Which?
They consider life as sacred.
Sacred.
Sacred. They think that life is given by God and God has the only power to take it away from a body. So I think that if these kind of things would be legalized, then definitely people will misuse it, and it would not have any kind of legal entity. So I think that euthanasia should not be legalized.
Okay, should not be legalized. What about others?
I think it's a good opportunity to research on that disease. For example, I want to give example of COVID. So COVID is one example where doctors or scientists get an opportunity to research on that disease.
Okay, we are able to understand that. So, mercy killing. Euthanasia is all about mercy killing. So, we need to take that life support back if somebody is suffering from a chronic disease, there is no cure, incurable disease. So, do we need to have a right? As somebody has already said that if we give this right to people, so they can misuse it. Might be there is a property dispute and somebody is going to die. We know that that person is not able to get better in coming days, but might be there is a ray of hope, because nobody wants to see anybody dying, but sometimes people want to see others dying when they are money hungry or they want their property. So what about others? Yes, would you like to say something, ma'am?
I think everybody has right to decide if the person wants to live or not. There are some disease that cannot be
Cured.
Yes, cured, and so in that cases let the person decide he wants to die or not. Otherwise,
But if that person is not able to decide, he is not able to walk, or he is bedridden, he is on ventilator.
but still his mind can work, because I was in situation where I was paralyzed. So that person can decide if the person wants to live or not.
But what about people, those who are in coma? Okay, we'll get back to you. What do you want to say?
Their family. So according to me, euthanasia should be legalized because lots of people they are suffering for uncurable disease and painful disease. And those are not curable, and they are suffer a lot, and their family also not support. And some, for example, a cancer patient they deny to treatment, and they do not want to feed them by tube. So euthanasia, that case euthanasia should
Mercy
be,
killing should be
yeah,
there. If you have trouble in pronouncing the word, you can say mercy killing. There is no problem. Hmm. What about others?
According to me, what I think, euthanasia or mercy killing can be legal. Must be legal, because we can decide if we want to live or not. Because when someone suffer from diseases which is very painful, then it should be a decision which they can make to die or not. Because many times people commit suicide, which is also not legal, and it can also we can also prevent suicide from euthanasia or mercy killing.
mercy killing is 5 types: passive,
Check. The
active,
volume is coming.
passive, active, involuntary, voluntary, non-voluntary. In a case of passive euthanasia, their present patient concerned are must. So that kind of euthanasia should be legalized. Not all type of that kind of euthanasia should be legalized.
So person should be given
Yeah,
death
yeah.
by
By consent of patient.
after consulting with the patient.
Yeah, patient who wants to die.
Yes.
In India, passive euthanasia is legalized in 2016. If a government take action, so there is a valid point. So euthanasia should be valid in India. In Netherlands also euthanasia is applied.
So that is legalized.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay.
Only passive euthanasia is legalized in India.
Passive euthanasia.
Yes.
Okay.
I believe that things happen slowly. Like there are many examples in many countries. There are things they firstly legalized passive euthanasia. After that, they legalized active euthanasia. A few months back, a lady take euthanasia or decided to kill herself like mercy killing. So she died. She had no incurable disease. She was fit and fine. She just wanted to die, and these kind of things can happen slowly. Might be after 10 or 20 years of legalizing passive euthanasia, people will consider that active euthanasia should be legalized. So I think that it shouldn't be legalized, and one of my friends has told earlier that if somebody wants to die, so it is his or her decision. It is not his or her decision. Article 21 of the Indian Constitution gives the right to life, but it cannot be the right to die. If somebody is dying, then definitely it should be considered suicide, and suicide cannot be accepted in a
Civilized
just
society.
or civilized society. I don't think that if somebody would legalize it, then definitely youths are going to do it in a huge number. So I think that it shouldn't be legalized.
Yes. Anybody else wants to counter that? He's saying that if it is legalized, people will misuse it.
Also, as many people said passive euthanasia. It takes lots of time. If someone is on ventilator, so government will check it, and after proceeding everything, they will take action on it. And also, as she said, like it is your choice and her choice. But there are in India there are many mad people those are living. Like if they got breakup, so they want to do suicide.
They want to commit.
They want to commit suicide, and they also in passive euthanasia. So there is if someone is paralyzed and who is in coma, so there is some chances which he can come or she can come.
And problems comes into in our life, but that's not mean you want to commit suicide. And problems are not permanent, so I think euthanasia is not a
The solution.
solution of this.
Okay, so I have a question from them. Like, as most of them are saying that government has legalized the passive euthanasia, so could you please elaborate what is the process to get passive euthanasia in India? Like, if government has legalized it, definitely there will be a
Procedure.
procedure to get it. So could you?
There are four bench judge. They are decide, and they they allowed 4 and 5 doctor in their side, and they check all the procedure. Patient what are the condition of patient are good and not. Their health, their disease are curable or not curable. Then all the procedure are done. Then they will decide.
Keeping everything in mind. Keeping everything in mind.
Keeping everything in
Mind.
in their mind. And
They will
then
take the decision.
Then they will give the decision.
I don't believe that anything is incurable. We all are aware of coronavirus. So when it came in 2019, in the end of 2019, so nobody knew how to cure it. What kind of medicines should be used. But after few years, we have many vaccines, co-vaccines and Covishield, etc. So nothing is incurable. We just need to wait. And if you are saying that if somebody is suffering from chronic disease, which is very painful, I think that there are some medicines which can reduce your pain, but we have no right to take away anybody's soul or life. I think that life is given by God and it has the right to take away.
And this disease are not able to cure, so I think after some time the person able to bear this pain, and they are able to live their life with this disease.
As one of my friends said, there is no disease which is not curable. So there are so many diseases like terminal illness, who is not cured by anything.
Which is not.
Yeah, which is not cured by. So if someone have mercy killing, so it's their choice, and if someone is not able to do anything, and there is no, if someone is not able to live, so maybe it is, so maybe,
Okay.
So it is a very difficult for patient who is lying on the bed for 3 to 4 years. So it is a very difficult for that and ask for that patient. So he or she wants to die, not to live their life this. Because when someone is on the bed, then nobody cares about that patient. Even money doesn't matter in that case. Nobody want to take care of that patient. So what is the meaning of life in that case?
and if a patient is suffering from that kind of disease, so also family is also suffered with them, because family has to take care of them and doctor have to take care of them. So they engage all of the people. So if the person is not able to live properly, so it's good to mercy illness or
To be allowed. We should allow that person to
Yeah.
choose mercy killing.
Wishful death.
Wishful death. Okay. और कोई?
I think euthanasia should be legalized in India because we all know that the population of our country is more than other country, and there are so many people.
So he's saying euthanasia should be allowed. Euthanasia should be allowed because it can reduce.
Because there are so many people who are died because of dengue. It is very common thing, and because of it, people died. So if we uh,
So he's saying that mercy killing can be the right option to kill people, and it can help us to reduce the population of our country.
No, it is.
What is your take on that? Do you think that we should reduce the population in this way?
No, not reduce of population on basis of euthanasia. Euthanasia should be legalized because of someone not able to suffer that disease or not able to cure that disease. That's why it should be legalized, not for population.
I also want to say that thing because someone not cured because of their problem. That's why he should feel by doctors. And someone of my friends said that the life is given by God, so we can't kill anyone. But there is a religion ban, and they they died themselves by doing nirvana, and it is legalized in India.
So you all know that like in India there are many people those have no money to about like take any treatment. So like in the on the other hand like there are many people those who wants to die in like because of that they are suffering from many disease. So in the on the this case like it should be allowed in India.
So he's saying that people are. Saying that people, those who are not able to afford expensive treatment, so in this case, they should be allowed to go for mercy killing.
Totally, I'm against from my, I'm all apart from that point because there is a many government hospital.
There are.
There are many government hospital in India, and there are more population. There are richer is also high, but poor is also high as compared to the richer. So it means the proportion of the population proportion is a very less in India. It means then everyone wants euthanasia in that case.
But what do you want to say? Somebody has said that population of our country is increasing. So by giving an option of mercy killing or euthanasia, so it will be the right.
Euthanasia is only for that treatment which is not curable by any kind of treatment. So that's why we should go for euthanasia, not like for if you are suffering from disease so you can take it. No, it should be consulted by doctors.
First of all, you people are thinking it emotionally. Don't think it emotionally, take it rationally. There are many people, there are a huge number of people those who are suffering from chronic disease. Why government is not providing or assisting them euthanasia or mercy killing? Because it will have a negative effect on the society. Let me tell you, once what happened, a senior citizen couple came to the Bombay High Court, if I am right, I am not able to recall, and said that we want to die because we do not have the power or immunity to resist the world. We do not have any child, so we want to die. People will come forward and they will ask for euthanasia. That's what will happen in India. If it will be legalized, first of all, it is not legalized by the constitution or not by the government. It is legalized by a judgment in 2018 or 2019 by
2016.
not 2016 Aruna Sahaba case. it was legalized in 2019. So it is not legalized by the constitution, neither by the government. It is legalized by Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said in its judgment that it's up to the government, it's up to the parliament whether it is to decide whether it should be given or not. So you must think rationally. Don't be emotional. Emotion can be harmful sometimes. So it's my take.
Or so he's saying that we need to take a rational approach. We need to give a rational approach to this. If it is going to be legalized, so that will go through all the legislation and everything. Parliament will decide, and they will make a legislation in favor or against. But do you really think that if a person is almost dead, medically he has been declared dead, so brain is not functioning, he is in coma, and there is no chance that he will be revived, so in this situation, should mercy killing be the right option? Or if somebody is in chronic pain every day, the life has become hell for that person, he is not able to tolerate that pain, and he knows that the things will definitely deteriorate and his situation is not going to improve further, it will become bad to worse. So in this scenario, so should this be the right option?
Sir, I don't think like if somebody is in this situation as you have narrated, so definitely he or she will die its own self, his or herself. Because if his or her condition is not improving, then definitely his lungs and heart and whatever the
So we
parts
should
are
wait
damaging.
till that person die.
Yeah, it will take
We
some
should
time.
let that person go through all the trauma, pain, and suffering. Okay, what about others? Hmm.
So in this case, euthanasia must be applied because might be their lives is a long 1 year, 2 year long. So what we do in that condition?
Even there are people, those who are on life support for more than 5 years.
And also in India, doctors make charges of the hospitals of that patient. They tell patient is all right, and they take in ventilators even after his death. So there are many cases.
So you are saying that in many cases,
Yes.
after the death of a patient, just because the hospital staff and the doctors want to make money, so they put the dead body on ventilator
Ventilator.
and tell the people that he is still alive.
Yes.
The pulse is on. So that is a different case. We are not talking about this whether the medical professionalists are doing their job honestly or not. We are asking if somebody is going through all the pain and trauma, and somebody suffering from cancer or any chronic disease like this, or life taking disease. So should that person be given an opportunity to end his life, because his life is already going to be end? And if somebody is going to die after a year, so why would we let that person go through all that suffering for one more year?
If something has a procedure, then definitely it will take time, and most of the people are not aware of the procedure, and they do not have that much money. First of all, if somebody wants euthanasia or mercy killing, then definitely he or she must have to get a advocate or a lawyer who will approach to the High Court or the Supreme
But
Court.
you already know that there are a number of cases which are lined up.
That's what.
So our judiciary system is totally different. There are many more cases. So we are going to put more burden on the shoulders of our this lackadaisical approach of those judiciary system is not going to change anything. You've already come in.
Yes, sir.
She wants to say something.
But if family is ready for that kind of because government don't care about others. If
Doesn't
family-
care.
Yeah, doesn't care about others.
But sometime, as a like somebody has said that sometime the family members want that person to die because they want his property or her property. So what about this?
No, I'm not saying in that condition. I'm saying. If
But who will decide? Because the patient is not in the situation to decide whether he wants to go for mercy killing or not, because he is unconscious. His brain is dead. and the family is pretty much into taking control of his wealth.
But as you earlier said, if person is suffering from pain, so
I
it is
haven't said anything. I'm just simply making an assumption. I'm just throwing the things in the middle.
but I'm saying my point of view is that kind of disease that can't be cured. So it is I don't think there is any problem in that anesthesia or wishful death.
Like I want to tell you the story. Like a few years ago, a baby was in coma, and her mother cured herself. And after 2 or 3 years later, she got she got well. But after having 3 or 4 years later, she died naturally. But if you give that girl euthanasia, so it would be the harmful that for that.
Okay, he's trying to say that in one situation, in one case, a lady helped her daughter to like come out of that from the jaws of death. She took care of that baby, and later on she was all right, and she died after a few years. But that was a natural death. But if she took that decision, the baby shouldn't wouldn't have seen 3 or 4 more years. Yes,
And if mercy killing is useful for the patient and anything else, why only few countries are legal for mercy killing?
legalizing.
Legalize the mercy killing, like only Belgium, Colombia, the Netherlands, and only the New Zealand. The only four countries are legalize the mercy killing, and others
The
countries
practice of mercy killing.
mercy killing. And it is not useful for everyone because everyone has their own pain, like breakup and anything else. They commit suicide and
So they have
it is-
different pains.
Yeah.
Some have physical, mental, and biological pain.
And that time it is not useful because
Yeah, even sometime when we are not happy and things are not going in the right way, we start saying that I want to end my life.
it is not useful also.
It should not be there as a medical stores. Like it was,
Yes.
but it should not be given by everyone in like medical stores. You can buy.
But the problem is that who will decide? Who will draw the line?
Doctors will decide.
But doctors can be bribed, as she said that doctors are not honest to their profession. I'm not saying every doctor is the same, but how will you decide? Sometime the patient is dead, and they keep that patient on life support and tell the people that the patient is still breathing, and on the other hand, the patient is no more. So they want a medical bill. They want money. Even they can be bribed. Doctors and other medical professions can be bribed. If a person has 100 crore or 10 crores in his bank account, or he has a huge property, but sometimes the property disputes can go wrong like this, people will take advantage of this law. Yes, what about others?
I believe that pain is something which cannot be counted or which is not countable. So let me tell you a story. A few days back, one of my uncles was suffering from an incurable disease. So he was admitted in the Hindu Rao hospital in Delhi. So the doctors said that we can't cure the disease, but we can do one thing, that you can take the patient at home, you can give him the food, whatever he want to eat. So after a few days he died, but the disease had no pain. It was painless disease which was incurable. So every disease
Is not painful.
is not painful.
But what about the painful disease?
Yeah, we are talking about painful.
No, it's not about painful or not painful. Like if somebody knows that, if you know that your days are numbered, like you have like 10 or 15 days more, the pain will start. You might, like if you are going to die, if you were to die after 10 days, you would die in 5 days if you already know that. So sometimes it is the pain of death approaching. So what about others? Anybody else has any closing remarks? So in my opinion, I want to say that it is up to the people, up to the court, up to the patient, and up to the society to decide. As I am a moderator, so I can't simply make an opinion on this. So I want you to make your opinions. If you think that it should be legalized, give your opinion. If you are against, then you can still write that. So it's time to say bye now. Bye everyone. Hope to see you again.